Good morning, students all. We finished the magnetism and matter lesson. We will start the new lesson. Name of the lesson will be electromagnetic induction. Okay. What is the name of the lesson means? Electromagnetic induction. Clear? 6 marks will come from this chapter. Okay, those questions will be 1 mark plus 2 marks plus 3 marks, 1 mark, 1 2 mark question, 1 3 marks question, or 1 mark 1 mark question, 1 5 marks question. Maybe in this format, maybe in this format questions will be there. Totally 6 marks will come from this chapter. Easy and interested topic. Okay. Now, how this electromagnetism was invented? What is the base? Let us see. So, let us see. So, when current is flowing in a conductor, I am taking a conductor. Current is flowing in the conductor. This current can able to produce the magnetic field that was identified by Ørsted, and that effect will be called as the Ørsted effect. So magnetic field will be there around a current carrying conductor. So current can able to produce the magnetic field. So current, it will produce the magnetic field. Understanding? Now, its converse is possible, whether magnetic field can able to produce the current. Reverse is possible. On that, experiments are done by the different scientists, and yes, they identified varying magnetic field can able to produce the current. That is the stepping stone for this electromagnetic induction. Understanding? So according to Ørsted effect, current can able to produce the magnetic field. Is magnetic field can able to produce the current means yes. Varying magnetic field can able to produce the current. From that, electromagnetic induction phenomenon was introduced. Before going to that, first we will define what is meant by magnetic flux. Okay, what is meant by magnetic flux? We will go one by one. So magnetic flux is indicated by the letter pi. It is indicated by the letter pi. How it will be defined? The number of magnetic lines of force passing normal to the area of cross section of a material is called magnetic flux. So how we are defining the number of magnetic lines of force? The number of magnetic lines of force passing or normal to the area of cross section, normal to the area of cross section of a material is called magnetic flux. Understanding? So how many number of lines are flowing? That number will be called as the magnetic flux. For example, this is the material, this is the area of cross section for that material. For example, 5 lines are flowing through it. So magnetic flux will be equal to 5. If 10 lines are flowing, magnetic flux will be 10. 1000 lines are flowing, magnetic flux will be 1000. So just it is a number. So it is a scalar quantity. How many lines of force are passing? Normal to the area of cross section of a material, that will be called as the magnetic flux. So mathematically magnetic flux value is equal to pi is equal to B bar dot A bar dot product of magnetic induction and area vector will be called as the magnetic flux. So this value is equal to BA cos theta. Okay. For example, this is a surface. Its area vector is like this. For example, magnetic field we applied in this direction. The angle between magnetic induction and area vector, that will be called as the magnetic flux. Understanding? What is it? It is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Why? Because it is a dot product between B bar and A bar, so it is a scalar quantity. If we write the SI unit for this, so we can write it as Weber. Symbol will be WB. That is the SI unit. Or from this, if we want to write, for B it will be Tesla, for area it will be meter square. So Tesla meter square will be another unit for the magnetic flux. Clear understanding? Now, before defining that magnetic induction, electromagnetic induction, we will do some experiments. We will discuss some experiments done by Faraday and Henry. What are that experiments? Let us see. If we understand it, that experiments, from that experiments, we will define the electromagnetic induction. So next side heading will be Faraday Henry experiments on electromagnetic induction. Faraday Henry experiments on electromagnetic induction. Okay. What are that experiments? Let us see. 3 experiments are there. One by one we will discuss about them. Okay. Then first one. Experiment 1, or it will be called coil magnet experiment. Coil magnet experiment or experiment 1. In this, what they did is they took a coil. Coil means what? A wire bundle will be called as a coil. They connected a galvanometer to that coil. Is it understanding? One wire is there, it is wrapped in one turn or so many turns. If the wire is wrapped, then it will be called as a coil. Okay? They took a coil, to the ends of that coil they connected a galvanometer. Okay? And here they took a bar magnet. magnet will have two poles, south pole and north pole. They took a coil and they took a magnet. Understanding? What they did is they moved the magnet towards the coil. When the magnet is stationary, when the magnet is not moving, in this galvanometer there will be no deflection. If you see the galvanometer only one pointer will be like this. It will be like this in galvanometer. Only one pointer will be there. When magnet is stationary, then there will be no deflection in the galvanometer. When galvanometer will deflect, when current is there in the coil, then only galvanometer will deflect. So when magnet is stationary, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Okay? We are moving the magnet towards the coil, then there is a deflection in the galvanometer. So galvanometer pointer is deflected like this. Means what is happening? When we are moving this magnet, current is produced in the coil. Because of that current, this pointer has deflected in one direction. Understanding? Now, when this is the magnet, we are moving like this, here we stopped. Then again deflection will becomes 0. Again we are moving the magnet, again deflection will be there in the galvanometer. Point is clear? So whether this magnet is nearer or farer, no problem. When magnet is moving towards the coil, then deflection will be there in the coil. Magnet is not moving, deflection is not there. Okay? Now what we will do is, we will reverse the poles of the magnet. Here we will take south pole, here we are taking north pole. Then reverse the magnet and repeat the same procedure. Move the magnet towards the coil, then deflection in the galvanometer will be in opposite direction. Initially, if it is deflected in this way, when north pole is moving, when south pole is moving, it is deflected in another direction. Point is understanding? Now if you stop the magnet in that motion, this is the magnet. I am moving the magnet like this, deflection is there. Here I stopped the magnet. Again deflection will be 0. Again I am moving the magnet. Again deflection will be there in the opposite direction. Okay? Next we will do this thing. We will keep the magnet stationary. We will keep the magnet at rest and we are moving the coil towards the magnet. Then also deflection will be there in the galvanometer. Coil is stopped. Deflection becomes 0. Again coil is moving. Deflection is there in the galvanometer. Reverse the magnet and move the coil towards the magnet. Same, we will get the deflection in opposite direction. And increase the speed of this coil, then more deflection will be there. Less velocity is there, less deflection will be there. All these are observed by these two scientists. Okay, they noted something. So what they understood, whether magnet is moving, coil is stationary, magnet is at rest and coil is moving, or both are moving, there will be deflection in the galvanometer. They noticed this point And what is the reason for that? They thought is the flux linked with the coil is changing. When the magnet is here, for example, magnet is here. From the magnet, magnetic lines of force are coming like this. They are coming in this manner, they are coming in this manner like this. Some lines of force are coming from the magnet. Okay? When gradually magnet is moving towards the coil, the lines of force passing through the coil will increases when you are moving towards the magnet. Point is clear. Means lines of force are increasing means what is happening? Flux associated with the coil is increasing. If you move the magnet away from the coil, flux associated with the coil is decreasing. Whenever flux is increased or decreased, there is a deflection in the galvanometer. Means when flux is changing, either increases or decreases, then there will be a current in the coil. From this experiment, they understood that one. What they understood finally, what is the result? When flux linked with a coil changes. When flux linked with a coil changes, there is a current in the coil. That is the final observation from this experiment 1. Next, experiment 2, what is that? See, here experiment 2 are coil experiment. Here they took 2 coils. This is one coil. For this coil, they connected a galvanometer. Here another coil is there. For this coil, they connected a battery. Means this battery is sending the current in this coil. Let this coil is C1, this coil is C2. Point is understanding? They took 2 coils, C1 and C2. For the first coil, there is no battery, means there is no current flowing in this coil. They connected a galvanometer to that coil. Just they connected a galvanometer. For the second coil, they connected a battery, means current is flowing through this coil. Current is flowing means it is creating magnetic field. Means it is behaving like a magnet. Coil 2 is behaving like a magnet. Now what they did? They moved this C1 towards C2. Then galvanometer is deflected. They stopped this coil. Deflection in the galvanometer becomes 0. Again they are moving C1 towards C2. There is a deflection in the galvanometer. Understanding? Now, later what they did is, instead of moving towards this C1 towards C2, they are moving this coil away from C2. Then a deflection in the galvanometer is there, but deflection is in opposite direction. When it is moving towards, if the galvanometer pointer deflected like this, when they are moving away from C2, deflection is in opposite direction. They stopped, deflection becomes 0. Again they are moving, again deflection is there. So this is moving, this is at rest. Same phenomenon they observed. Now they kept C1 at rest and C2 they moved towards it. Deflection is there in one direction. They stopped, deflection becomes 0. Again they are moving towards C1, that C2. Again deflection is there. Points are understanding? Now instead of moving towards C1, now they are moving away from the C1. C2 they are moving now. They are moving C2 away from C1. Again deflection is there. They stopped. Deflection becomes 0. Again they are moving. Deflection is in opposite direction. Comparing to the coil is moving towards C1. All these phenomena they observed. From this also what they concluded? Magnetic flux, it is creating magnetic field. Means that magnetic field is associated with magnetic lines of force. When it is moving towards it, when it is moving away from it, flux associated with this coil is changing. Because of that change in the flux, current is producing in the coil. That's why galvanometer is deflecting. The points are understanding. First experiment is what? Moving the magnet towards the coil, moving the magnet away from the coil, keeping the magnet stationary. They moved the coil towards the magnet, away from the magnet. Deflection is there in the galvanometer. That deflection is more when velocity is more. That point also they observed. In the second experiment, coil C1 just galvanometer, coil C2 current is flowing. Then if we move C1 towards C2 or away from C2, deflection is there. Same phenomenon they observed, keeping C1 at rest, C2 in motion. From this also what they concluded? When magnetic flux is changed, either increased or decreased, magnetic flux associated with a coil changes. Current will be produced in the coil. The second experiment also, same result they got. Next, they did third experiment, experiment 3. This is also coil experiment. They used 2 coils. In this experiment, both coils are stationary. Coils are not moving. They kept stationary, both coils. Clear? Now, initially this key is open. In this no current. This galvanometer also no deflection. They closed this key now. Means current is flowing in this. At that time, when key is closed in C2, there will be a momentary deflection in the galvanometer, and again galvanometer needle will comes to, galvanometer pointer comes to 0. So initially like this one, galvanometer pointer. When it is closed, at the moment of closing, when the moment of closing, pointer comes like this and again it came to 0 again. Means a momentary deflection in this galvanometer is observed when you close the key. Again, there will be no deflection. When key is closed, current is flowing in C2, there will be no deflection. Deflection becomes 0 only. At the time of closing, it came like this and it came like this. So momentarily there will be a deflection in galvanometer at the time of closing, and after closing, after 1 or 2 minutes, deflection is 0 only, just momentary deflection. Now they open this key, closed na, keeping that closed for 2-3 minutes. What they did? They opened this key. Now deflection in the galvanometer, now also there is a momentary deflection in the galvanometer for 1 or 2 seconds. Again it came to 0. So when this key is closed or key is opened, at that moment there is a momentary deflection in the galvanometer that they observed. But that deflection is not continuous. Just at the time of closing it came like this. After 1 or 2 seconds it came to 0. At the time of opening it came like this. Again it came to 0. So they observed a momentary deflection in the galvanometer when the key is closed or open. These are the 3 experiments done by them, and from all these experiments what they concluded is, whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a closed circuit, there will be an EMF develops in that circuit, and this phenomenon is called electromagnetic induction. Like that they defined electromagnetic induction basing on these 3 experiments. So once again, what is the definition for the electromagnetic induction? How they are defining the electromagnetic induction? Whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a closed circuit, it is a closed circuit, then there will be an EMF developed in that circuit. That phenomenon is called, current is producing means EMF is produced, then only current will be there. So that phenomenon is called as the electromagnetic induction. So what is the definition of electromagnetic induction? You see, electromagnetic induction, how it will be defined is, whenever the magnetic flux linked with a, whenever the magnetic flux linked with a closed circuit changes, and EMF will be developed in the circuit. Okay, this phenomenon is called electromagnetic induction. This phenomenon is called electromagnetic induction. What is the EMF induced there? So, EMF induced is called induced EMF and current induced is called induced current. Current induced is called induced current. EMF induced is called induced EMF. Clear? Understanding? How long this induced EMF will be there, induced current will be there means up to there is a change in the magnetic flux. When magnetic flux is continuously changing, up to that time only this EMF or induced current will be there. When induced EMF, when flux change will be zero, then there will be no change in there will be no induced EMF and no induced current. Point is clear? Next, what is the statement of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? What is the statement of that? See. Next side heading, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. What is the statement of this one? So how they defined this one is the rate of change, the magnitude of induced EMF in a closed circuit. The magnitude of induced EMF in a closed circuit is equal to rate of change of magnetic flux the magnitude of induced EMF that will be equal to rate of change of magnetic flux. So we can write mathematically this is E is equal to minus d pi by dt. Induced EMF magnitude is equal to rate of change of magnetic flux. Here minus sign is indicating induced EMF direction and change in the magnetic flux direction both will be opposite. So minus negative sign is indicating induced EMF direction is opposite to the rate of change of magnetic flux. This is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So in this class up to now what we discussed, what is meant by magnetic flux, what is the formula to calculate the magnetic flux we discussed. Later, what are the three experiments conducted by Faraday and Henry To demonstrate electromagnetic induction we discussed. Later what is meant by electromagnetic induction, what is Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction we discussed up to now. We'll stop this session now. We'll continue in the next class.